of all transgender people have been sexually assaulted at some point in their lives. And then 25 years strong. Every voice matters. Every action counts. By standing in solidarity, we can build a future free from sexual violence and create a world where everyone is safe, valued, and respected. And this will be signed and approved on the 23rd day of March 2026. Your motion?
Motion.
Motion, Commissioner Snubbs.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Art. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. And thank you for what you guys do too.
Judge, while y'all are signing that, I wanted to just take a quick minute to point out, I don't know if it's occurred to you guys how much these two overlap. How much their sexual assault deals with our children and our children deal with that. It's a shame. It's a real shame and it's prevalent in our county. I think Ginger can speak to that more eloquently than I can because I get a little rattled and a little passionate about it, but I just want to point that out while there's a quiet moment in here. Keep that in mind as you go through your day and you approach people. We crisscross on a lot of paths and a lot of things. It's not just adults that are affected by that, and it's not just children that are affected by this.
Yeah.
We work together.
Yeah, thank y'all for everything that you do.
Absolutely.
I was about to mirror that same remark there. Thank you very much.
You want us to file out, get ready for a picture?
Yes, let's do.
Then we gotta listen to the auditor. I said, then we gotta listen to the auditor.
Okay, everybody back that needs to be here? Believe so. Okay, item number 8 is the consent agenda. And the consent agenda includes non-controversial and routine items that the court may act on with one single vote. The judge or a commissioner may pull any item from the consent agenda in order that the court discuss and act upon it individually as part of the regular agenda.
I'd like to pull T.
T. Okay, Commissioner Art would like to pull item T. Which is to deliberate and consider possible action regarding the approval of a contract with Destin Offices Machines for a Kyocera MZ 5001 copier for the Cooke County Extension Office in the amount of $405.50 a month for a period of 60 months. We'll look at that one separately. Anybody else have anything?
I move to approve on the rest of them.
Move to approve, Commissioner Arndt.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Snuggs. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And there are none. Okay, then, item T.
So this one caught my attention. $405 a month. Times 12 months, that's $4,866. Times 5 years, that's $24,000. What's one of them machines cost new?
The last one we bought was $7,000 or $8,000.
I mean, is the
Most of that is for maintenance.
Maintenance and,
copies
they use? I guess they use a lot of copies.
for the extension office, yeah.
Yeah,
So I used to worry about this too, and I still do because it's a lot of money.
it is.
But when you figure in, they pay for that, and that price includes all the ink, all the maintenance, all the everything.
Staples. And
Yeah, like when you buy all that stuff, like it gets, and especially maintenance, whenever it runs out of warranty, like it's crazy, which I think it's all just,
But if you notice,
How much of it's interest, Shelley? Are we still paying a lot of interest while you're looking?
the contract he's sending over says it's based off of the TIPS contract, so he's going off of a purchasing co-op. So I think it's different than
Used to, we were paying some significant interest,
12,
right?
like 12%.
12% or something, yeah. And so we're no longer doing that.
I don't think so, not based off of the purchasing.
See, that was a problem for a while.
I'm looking, JP1 is also getting the same copier for the same amount, and that comes out of their tech money.
Right.
But because they compared how much they were paying for copies after the fact versus it being included in the contract, then the same.
Cheaper to go this
Yeah.
way.
The other concern is though, what did we do? We signed like 5 contracts last quarter or something, right? We've got several copiers.
Yeah, they're
I mean-
all coming to do it at the same time, yeah.
And so you add all that up, it sure would be nice, especially with the technology we have today to share copy machines. Just, you might have to take 3 or 4 steps, but then some offices can't do that, but it might be something to consider at some point.
I mean, it is definitely, it's expensive, it's wild, but doing it through the contract is considerably less at the end of the day, even though it doesn't seem like it would be.
Well, I'll be doing it off the purchasing co-op because they've all been bid out.
Right. It just, I mean, with technology, just going back to that, I mean, what did we do before we had copy machines? It was
They not any of us that old, Adam.
I mean, unless we start buying individual desktop copiers in color, and then the toner becomes outrageous.
Expensive.
Like just a black toner is like $800.
It just caught my attention.
I understand.
And
Well,
I
it's
get it,
certainly
100%.
worth reviewing.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve, Commissioner Arndt, second by Commissioner Snuggs. And I just wanted to make a comment at this point. That was a really good idea to take a look into this at least. And if you guys think about it, or as we proceed through towards this next budget and one thing and another, might consider the idea of sharing copiers. That also came up in here. That might be a pretty good cost savings thing. That was a good idea, Commissioner Hallwell. And thank you very much for that. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Item T passes 5-0. Item number 9, presentation and acceptance of the FY25 annual financial report as presented by Patillo, Brown, and Hill.
Good morning. Thank you, sir. How are y'all doing today? Good.
Doing good.
Well, good. Thank you for having me this morning. My name is Kent Willis. I'm a partner at Patillo, Brown, and Hill, based out of Waco, Texas. Drove in this morning. I left Waco on I-35 in construction, of course. I expected to hit construction when I got here, but y'all are almost done, it seems like, with 35. I'm sure you're relieved.
Not even close.
No? They're going to keep going?
Bad part.
Waco's bad right now. It's real bad. Down to 2 lanes with no shoulder. It's a mess. So that's part of life. Anyway, thank y'all for having me this morning. I'm here to present the results of the 2025 audit. As you probably suspect, I have good news to share with you today. If there was any bad news, you would have known that a long time ago. So I plan to keep this fairly short and sweet. If you've got a question, if you want to drill down into some area, we can get into the debits and credits if you'd like to. I'd be happy to do that. But otherwise, I plan to keep it short and sweet. I want to start off and say thanks to Shelley and her crew for the hard work through the audit process. We're presenting this audit earlier than we have in several years. Normally we present in April or May. Part of the reason of that is Shelley's opted this year to apply for a voluntary award through Government Finance Officers Association, or the GFOA. So essentially what Shelley will do by the end of the month, she'll submit this document for grading by the GFOA. It's voluntary. You guys are now in the minority of our clients. We have several hundred local government clients in Texas. Most of them don't submit for this award because it's a lot of work. It's difficult. So I want to commend you guys for going over and above to submit for this award. Essentially what the award does is once this thing gets submitted, it'll get graded against a pretty long checklist, both for presentation, content, formatting. Essentially you're being held to a higher standard now. You've elected to be held to a higher standard with your financial statements. More transparency, more information for the taxpayers to utilize if they review this document. So we commend you. I think that essentially means you have a higher quality set of financial statements than most governments in Texas. So that's something to be proud of. The first year when you get graded, they grade you the hardest. So we do think you'll get the award, but wish you luck for that process as well. So I'm going to point out a couple of things that are different about this document now that you've applied for the award here in a few minutes. But first, we'll get off into the results of the audit. So if you want to follow along, I will point out a few page numbers. I'm in the big spiral-bound document for now. Starting off on page 1.
You got one right there.
Good place to start.
I'm sorry.
So yours.
Page 1. So pages 1, 2, and 3 are the independent auditor's report or the opinion letter. It's not an exciting read, I'll tell you that much. It's a very concise description of what did the auditor do during the audit process, why did we do it, and what did we conclude at the end of it. So I'm not going to go through this thing in a lot of detail, but I do want to explain what the audit looks like from my perspective. It is a ton of work. not just for your staff, but for ours as well. We spend, just on our side as the auditor, about 400 hours between myself, manager, a senior auditor, and a staff auditor, or two, a couple staff auditors, poring over the information that your county auditor staff provides to us. And so our job is to be able to say, at the end, can we at the end of this process say that these financial statements are materially incorrect? How do we do that? Well, we get unfettered access essentially to your records. Anything we want to look at, whether it's contracts, invoices, checks, cash receipts, whatever it is that we need to be able to get comfortable with. Basically, any number you see as you thumb through this document, we've done something on those numbers to make sure that they're right. Trust but verify is a phrase we use as auditors. We're skeptical, we trust our clients, but our job is to be skeptical. How do I know this is right? And in those 400-ish hours that we spent, we have a lot of tools in our tool belts to make sure that we can get to the point where we can issue an opinion on these financials and comfortably say that they are materially correct. So 4 or 5.5 weeks worth of work, that's just for us. Your staff works countless hours to get to this point as well. But you will see at the top of page 1, we've issued what's called an unmodified opinion or a clean opinion on the financials, which is the highest level of assurance that we can provide on a local government's financial statements. So congrats on the clean opinion. No issues to note in that part of the audit. Any questions on the audit process? Can I explain that better or differently? All good. Before we leave this document, I do want to point out some information that's different about this document now that you've submitted it for the award. Would you follow me back to, let's go, page 104 and 105. 104 and 105. The section we're in back here is called the statistical section. This is new to your financial statements because you're applying for the award this year. It's kind of interesting. It's 10-year trend analysis on financial information, demographic information, revenue information, operational information. So there's 16 or 17 tables back here. All of them have 10-year trend data. So what we're looking at here is all of your governmental funds, so not just the general fund, but all of them, revenues and expenditures for the past 10 years. Look at the growth from 2016 to 2025. Total expenditures in 2016 were $25 million for the whole county. For this year, they're $40 million. Y'all have grown a bunch in the last 10 years. I'm sure you know that, but this whole section kind of gives you a way of looking back in the past and seeing where was Cooke County 10 years ago versus today. And again, this is the newly required information because you're submitting to the GFOA. You have to include these types of 10-year trend schedules. The next page over shows your assessed taxable value for the past 10 years. Pages 106 and 107. Total taxable assessed value has increased from $3.3 to $7.6 billion in Cooke County over the last 10 years. Pretty interesting. Anyway, this is information y'all, I'm sure, had at your disposal, but having it put together in one place and seeing the 10-year trend is kind of interesting to see where Cooke County has been over the last decade. All right. We're going to shift gears to the dark blue document here, if you want to follow along, and then I will close here in a few minutes. So in the spiral-bound document, turn to pages 6 and 7. Pages 6 and 7. Alrighty, so we're shifting gears. This is the secondary audit that we do when we do your audit every year. That last one we just talked about, it's more about your balance sheets, your income statements, things you normally think about when you think about an audit. This document is about compliance with grants. So on the left side and the right side, pages 6 and 7, what you're seeing are federal and state grant dollars that were spent by Cooke County during 2025. On the left side, $2.6 million of federal dollars spent. On the right side, total expenditures of state awards, a little over $1 million, for a total of $3.7 million. So these are grant dollars provided to the county that were spent during 2025. When the grand total of this exceeds a certain threshold, it triggers this secondary audit. We have to come in, we have to select one or more of these grants that you see, and we have to dig into the details. As you guys know, federal dollars come with strings attached. You have to spend the money on certain things, you have to follow the rules, you have to comply with their guidelines. The feds ask us to double check that you did all those things. And so we did that. We tested the COVID-19 dollars that are still around 5 years later. And we also tested the Rural Law Enforcement Grant, or SB 22 program. Tested both of those during this process, and we're able to, again, to issue clean opinion and no findings in this arena as well. So
The COVID dollars you're talking about is ARPA.
yes, thank you.
That is, will be concluded this year.
That's right, finally. So that's the $1.59 million on the left side. That's the program we tested. So, any questions on this particular grant or this part of the audit? Anything I can explain better or differently? Be happy to do that. All right. Well, just to conclude, on both arenas of the audit, we had no findings and no issues to report. But, you may remember last year there was a finding in the audit. That's been resolved immediately. It did not recur again this year, so we commend you guys on ensuring that as well. Thank you all for your time this morning. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, I will turn it back over to you for the rest of your meeting.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
I do appreciate that.
You bet.
I appreciate the brevity, and I also appreciate the work that was done to allow the brevity.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
You can accept it.
Yeah. I thought are you on your way out, or you? Okay. Do I hear a motion to accept the audit?
I'll make a motion that we accept the audit.
Okay.
Second.
Motion, Commissioner Snuggs, second, Commissioner Arndt, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. Accepted, 5-0. Thank you. Item number 10 is to deliberate and consider possible action regarding the approval of the treasurer's monthly report.
Move to approve.
Motion, Commissioner Snuggs, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. Item number 10 passes 5-0. Item number 11, information only announcement by Rand, Emergency Manager, regarding the April 2nd, 2026 TDM Emergency Notification Drill. What do you want to tell us about that, Rand? Rand Brown, by the way.
Good morning, all. So really, to sum this up, I'm just going to read from the actual joint press release statement that we've already punched out to the community, but that we drafted between myself and my counterparts at the City of Gainesville. So the Cooke County Office of Emergency Management and the City of Gainesville Office of Emergency Management will participate in a statewide emergency alert drill on Thursday, April 2nd, 2026, sending test messages through public alert systems and testing multiple warning capabilities used to warn residents during emergencies. The test will begin at 10 a.m. as part of a statewide exercise organized at the request of the Texas Division of Emergency Management, TDEM. The test will conclude at 12:30 p.m. As part of this drill, residents may receive a test alert on their mobile phone during the testing window that will state, quote, "This is a test of the Cooke County / City of Gainesville Emergency Alert System. This is only a test," unquote. No emergency action is required. Because multiple jurisdictions across the region will be participating, some residents may receive more than one test alert on their phones during the testing window. Testing helps ensure emergency alert systems function properly and allows agencies to evaluate how alerts are delivered during real emergencies. During the test, emergency management officials will send messages through Code Red and through the Integrated Public Alert Warning System known as IPAWS. So, again, just to stress a few points from that, like the statement said, because this is a statewide effort, there may be multiple jurisdictions taking place that overlap, so citizens may get multiple alerts from different jurisdictions. Another note is this test is not mandatory. This is something that the state has organized and that they've asked all local entities to participate in. So this is not the state coming down from on high and pointing the finger at us and saying, you will do this. There's a lot of value in it for us, especially with the challenges we've had with mass notification in the past. This is a really good opportunity to get it out there and exercise it, and just get the feedback from the community on what works, what didn't, who received what. So it's a good opportunity, and we've been working very, very closely with the city of Gainesville emergency managers to work in lockstep with them. So it's also a great opportunity to just coordinate and collaborate with our partners. We've already pushed this out to as many local entities as we can. All the ISDs have received notification of this. All the offices of the mayors have received this. Local medical centers, my counterparts at NCTC have gotten all this. So we're notifying as many people as possible that can help participate or help convey the message. So are there any questions on this at all?
This is the first time it's statewide.
It is. And you can tell.
What about if there's some kind of emergency going on when the emergency?
An actual emergency. So that has been discussed ad nauseum with TDM, and TDM has made it to where any local entities that are experiencing a genuine emergency, they are exempt from participating in this. And that will be conveyed as quickly as possible by that local entity. But yeah.
Are any other states involved in this at that time?
No, just Texas. And if that's it, I'll just stand up here for the next agenda item.
Any other questions? If not, item 12. Deliberate and consider possible action regarding a burn ban. Thank you.
So first off, I apologize for the small font on that if you have to break out your reading glasses. So I spent the last week conversing with a lot of the fire chiefs around the county on just what they're seeing out there, what they're experiencing. Sometimes the messaging that comes from the state can sound a little more dire than it actually is, especially for us locally. Obviously out in West Texas, they're dealing with a lot more of a dire situation just because of how much drier they are than we are. But we are not there yet. So the recommendation that I've gotten most consistently is instituting a burn ban is possible, would be helpful, but it would be, at this point, unnecessary. We're going to continue to monitor very, very carefully the gradual warming trend that is coming down, because it's looking like it's probably going to be a dry warming trend. We may be facing spring drought conditions. That is a possibility. But as of right now, we just don't know. So I've been out in places, I've actually gone out to some of these fields that look concerning to me from the road, but when I go out into them, don't worry, I'm not trespassing on anybody's property. But when I go out into them and I kick the tall grass aside, it's a carpet of green underneath it. So we're not seeing dire conditions as of right now, but I will advise, just in general across the county, please be very careful if you conduct outdoor burning. Become familiar with the state burn rules that apply all year round across the entire state, whether there's a burn ban in effect or not. On that note, there was a little bit of confusing messaging that went out yesterday. The state did not declare a burn ban yesterday. That's not how that works. So the state burn rules are just regulations that are under Title 30 that are in effect all year round across the state. And they include certain things like prohibitions on burning certain materials, prohibitions on burning on days when the wind gusts are 23 miles per hour or higher, which that was a condition yesterday. We had about 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts yesterday. So the messaging was, I think, a little confused. It wasn't a state-instituted burn ban. It's just on days when wind gusts are more than 23 miles per hour or higher, it's a violation of the state burn rules to conduct outdoor burning. So with things like the state burn rules, please be aware of them. Please be aware, always call into the county dispatch before you conduct any kind of outdoor burning. Always supervise it, never leave it unattended, and be aware of where you're burning and what you're burning. So we do have the link to the state burn rules on our county website. In fact, it's on the first page where you can find those. So, but yeah, at this point, my recommendation would be we can leave the burn ban off, but we will keep an eye on the situation, and we'll be back here in 2 weeks to reconsider it if needed.
Did you by any chance contact Channel 12?
I have
At our
not
station
yet.
yesterday?
Yeah, I was going to do that today.
You know, Channel 12 still has us depicted as being a burn ban.
Yeah, sometimes I think when the burning gets taken off, I think word doesn't get around
Yeah.
to everybody. So I've even noticed I've had to reach out to TDM before in the Texas Forestry Service, because they'll still show us as under a burn ban. I have to let them know, hey, that we're not. So, yeah.
Thanks for explaining that as far as the statewide burn ban. I think you've done a really good job. And as of yesterday, the map still showed, the state map was still showing Cooke County, the one I glanced at online. But, you know, there was some confusion over a statewide. Yeah, thank you.
Any discussion on the burn ban? If not, item 12 will be a no action then. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good report, thank you. Item number 13, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the approval of a replat of Lot 1 in Butler subdivision in Precinct 1.
It's actually a 5-acre lot. They're splitting into 2 lots, and I think they've met all the requirements. Be two and a half acre lots off of County Road 167. Anything to add, Amber? I'd make the motion that we approve that.
Second.
Motion, Commissioner Hollowell, second, Commissioner Snuggs, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. 13 passes 5-0. 14, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the approval of the bid specification for gasoline and diesel fuel to be used by Cooke County and advertisement for the same.
Looks like it's just like every other year. Did you guys notice anything missing off of that? I move to approve the spec.
Second.
We have a motion, Commissioner Hollowell, to approve item 14, or approve the spec. Second, Commissioner Snuggs, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. Item 14 passes 5-0. Item 15, deliberate and consider possible action regarding setting the spending limit for the outgoing county clerk per Local Government Code 130.908.
that usually gets set at 50% or something.
25%, isn't it, the last 3 months?
Got 10%, I think, clerks, isn't it?
She told me, I thought she would say 25.
I think it's 25%. You can't spend any more than 25%. It actually deals with next year's budget, does it not? Because you're in office the last 3 months of,
That's what it is. You can't spend 25%
It's the-
of the,
of next year's
next year.
budget.
Yeah,
once
next
it's-
year's budget.
That's what I
Yeah.
think it is.
what does the motion need to be then?
Did you make a motion, Jason?
No, I'm just asking what would the
You wanna know
motion be?
what the
then?
motion was?
I would think, Jason, that it would be just as we stated, it cannot exceed 25% of the budget for the last 3 months of the
For-
current calendar year, which would be the first 3 months of,
The
Right.
2027 budget. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'll make that motion that we set the spending limit at 25% of the
Not to
budget.
exceed.
You wanna-
Not to exceed 25% of the 2027.
Would you
Budget.
repeat that for Pam's dedication?
I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Need to, my motion is to set the spending limit at the 25% of the 2027 budget, the first 3 calendar months of the budget.
Have a motion, Commissioner Snuggs,
second?
second, Commissioner Hollowell, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And there are none. That motion for setting the spending limit on the county clerk passes 5-0.
And everybody needs to understand, that's not something negative.
No.
That's just because
They're outgoing.
they're leaving office, they're outgoing the end of their terms. Nothing negative associated with that under either of these 2 items.
Because item number 16 is to deliberate and consider possible action regarding setting the spending limit for the outgoing county judge.
I'll make that same motion on this one.
Did you want to hear what the motion was, Shelley? You weren't here when
25% of the budget for the first 3 calendar months of the new term, 2027.
yeah, okay.
Can you mirror that for this one?
So Commissioner Snuggs makes that motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I won't vote. Be 4 to not 1 non-vote. Item number 17 will be executive session. Closed session, convene an executive session in accordance with the Texas Government Code 551.0725. It is to consider deliberation about contracts being negotiated.
Do what? Yeah. I will, I can't speak for
I will, just a second. You forgot to tell me.
Hey, it's my first time back.
That's right.
What time do you want to stop this, Judge?
Well, we're gonna
Well, I
wait.
need to stop it though.
Well, let's go ahead then and stop it at 10:53. Reconvene at 11:25. And we don't have any action items to take action on, so no action. Item number 19.
Motion?
Motion Commissioner Snuggs,
Second.
second Commissioner Arndt, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you. This is,
Jeff, what time are we gonna adjourn it? I don't have my watch right there.
so this is in front of. us.
11:25.
10:50, what? No, it's 11:25.
Like, he's waiting